So, once mocked as middle-of-the-road suburbia, Fife semi-detached homes have quietly become one of the strongest performers in the property market, and we're going to discuss why. So this is going to be a really interesting, isn't it? What we're going to be speaking about is the semi-detached property. And as I said earlier on, it was once mocked as middle-of-the-road suburbia, but actually it's becoming one of the most sought-after types of property. And we're going to talk about why that is. So looking at Fife house prices, the data that is given us is that the semi-humble detached property has got the last laugh. And it's quite an interesting opening statement, that one. But with an outstanding average price increase of 108% over the last 2 decades, 108%. This impressive rise in house prices has made the humble semi a wise investment and underscores the enduring appeal with the broader British property house owner. We're going to talk about that and delve into it just now. So, historic evaluations of the British semi-detached house. Sophie, what does that look like?
Yeah, so a semi-detached house, has been a staple of the British housing for well over 150 years. Origins kind of tracing back to, say, like Victorian and Edwardian periods, because back then they were often referred to as villas, a term that reflected their kind of aspirational appeal, almost like, the dream in the middle class, respectfully. But these homes were designed to offer more space, light, and privacy, more so than obviously your terraces, while still being affordable. Because let's face it, they are more affordable than a detached property. So it was almost like that perfect compromise without feeling like a compromise for the growing suburban population of the time. And while much of Europe leans towards apartment living, we could say, in the really dense urban environments, the British, we could say, have long favoured the kind of comfort and independence that comes with a semi-detached property. And we see that massively, even in Fife, when we've pulled our Fife figures and we look at them. They're a great, affordable family home, and it's naturally what families kind of gravitate towards. Because it's that kind of rare balance of neighbours close by, but you've still got your outdoor space. Because what you tend to find with semi-detached is you do get like a driveway, gardens to the front, perhaps a garage. So you do have neighbours, but not too close. The front, the back garden, room to grow with that as well. So because you are semi-detached, you do have the option to expand and further develop your property if you wish. So you do have that sense of personal space, all without the price tag of having a big detached property. So it is that kind of blend of practicality with a mix of privacy that really does continue to make the semi-detached properties one of the UK's most popular and enduring property types. But what would you say then? How do they hold their own, Perrie?
I think they hold their own very strongly. And I think you've hit the nail on the head there a little bit. You tend to find that it's young couples maybe buy an apartment, don't they? And then from the apartment, they go to look for their next property. So they'll maybe go for a mid-terrace, a townhouse, or a semi-detached if they want garden space, perhaps if they're thinking about having a family. The downsizers tend to be your more affluent people who are sitting in their detached properties and actually have this mental block about, I'm not used to having neighbours, don't think I would want a semi-detached because it means I'm going to have neighbours. So there's definitely an exploration there for people to have. So Fife semi-detached houses have performed really well against other property types in terms of house growth. We've talked about that earlier. 108% of growth compared to a Fife detached property, which growth-wise is 97%. Your terraced homes performing well as well, 113%. Your apartments, 75%. But the average price paid for a semi-detached home in Fife in the last 12 months has been £205,400. £205,000. I'm going to say that again, 205,000 for a semi-detached home. That's quite a remarkable sum, isn't it? I'm quite excited, actually. I might have to do a little job on myself and find out how much is mine's worth now, Sophie.
You're speaking to the right person. Go for it.
Absolutely, because I did downsize from a detached property, and there is a little element of that in your mind. Oh, I don't know if I want to have neighbours again. But actually, you get so much house as well, and you get so much outside space. Internally, of course, it is a downsize from a detached house, but you don't feel that with your garden and outside space, your driveway, everything that you mentioned earlier, Sophia. So I think for me, that was a big pointer. But again, there was lots of statistics in there about the property types. So if you are interested in this, you're just keeping up with it just now. The link is in this post. Feel free to just click on that. You can read all through the article, take you 6 minutes perhaps, but it really gives you some really good information. But the enduring appeal of a semi-detached house for me as well, it's long been special place in the British housing market, as you said. They deliver many of the lifestyle advantages that people are looking for from a detached house. I certainly feel that I have achieved that. But you're not getting that full price tag as well. So for downsizers like me who want to help their family or apartment people going up, you get a lot more house for your money, don't you? So it makes it ideal stepping stone for families. First time buyers as well. You know, we are seeing that just now as well in regards to the semi-detached property. So, you know, they may be first time buyers, as we did on that show the other day. Your first time buyer now is a more mature buyer. So your first time buyer now is averaging early 30s. So, you know, there may be at that point we think, well, now I'm finally getting that situation. I don't want to buy an apartment. I want to buy a house because I want to put somewhere for my car. I want to have some garden space. And the semi-detached ticks a lot of boxes for that. So I think we're definitely seeing that as well. But a key element that's often overlooked is the role that that garden plays that I spoke about earlier on. It really enhances their appeal. A modest front garden softens the approach to your house. Of course it does, and it gives you a really nice boundary, but it also gives you that privacy away from the road, which is a big plus. But it offers you great curb appeal, which we constantly speak about. So you can make it really nice from the front as well. But it also gives you, as you mentioned, Sophie, that sense of privacy, the distance away from the road. You've got your driveway as well. But actually, meanwhile, you've also got generally some great rear garden space. We were really fortunate. Our plot is huge. To be honest, they could have put bigger houses on these plots because the garden's massive. So we've really got the benefit of enjoying an outside garden that is in a really nice size. But it can become your own little personal retreat as well. So I think when we see professional people and they're looking for to maybe be that first time buyer in their early 30s, they absolutely are going to want that downtime space, which is really provided from the outside, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So definitely they want to see that. And especially in days like today, when it's this beautiful weather and it's summertime and you want to be entertaining. It's been lovely all week, all weekend as well. So you want to be outside. You don't want necessarily to have to drive to the park to enjoy that. You want the solace of being at home and just going out into your own garden and just entertaining with your friends and enjoying some company and some nice food, don't you? Mm-hmm. So you get that privacy as well. Takes you away from all those public spaces. But yeah, it's just a nice property that gives you lots of space, I think. But the practicality that it also plays as well is great. So allowing your side access. So again, there's nothing worse if you're in an apartment, is there? You've got to park the car halfway down the street and then you've got to bring the shopping in, or you're waiting for an delivery and it just takes forever because you've got so much going on behind all the scenes. So it's nice for that, but also having the side part of the garden, you've got your bin access area as well. So you're getting that out of your actual social space of your garden, your bike sheds, storage shares, everything like that can just be kept in a nice way so that you can enjoy that outside space. So these are they sound like really small details, but if you're at that point in your 30s, actually that's where you are in life, aren't you? You're still fit, you're still healthy, you're going out cycling, you're going out running, you're wanting to entertain with friends, you've got your car because you need that for work. So you want to be able to have a home that kind of really delivers everything you need there, don't you?
Absolutely. And I think even in the sense of you saying, you know, about the age demographic and people are really honed in on that and enjoying the social space. Everybody's Instagramming and taking pictures these days. So they don't want to be taking pictures of the garden and you see the bins or you see this or that. They want that hidden away because that's not your Instagram appeal. So
exactly.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Big thing. But I think internally as well, so we've talked about the outside, but I think internally as well, you also get quite a lot of space. So many semi-detached houses are surprisingly generous in size as well, especially if you're lucky enough to get one of these ex-local authority ones. I mean, look at the ones down in Scooney. Those semi-detached properties down there, they're like gold dust now. If you were fortunate enough to have one of those in the early stages and purchase it, when the right to buy scheme was there. You're on a winning streak there, aren't you? Because those properties are so sought after, and some of them overlook, especially if you go into Scooney Crescent, where you've got the bowling green, or you've got the ones that are along the back and the back onto the golf course. How lucky are you to be in those? But those houses are enormous as well, so you really do get some good inside space as well as outside space. But whilst the bedrooms might not rival those of a detached property, so you maybe not have the same number of bedrooms, you'll have enough for your family if you're upsizing or downsizing. But they strike a balance as well, though, between comfort and functionality, and they generally have a lot of space. So it's the combination of the character, which you'll get from some of those ones down the Scooney, the space, clearly the affordability. But that explains really, for me, I think, why so many Fifers want to have properties like that. And we definitely see the semi-detached property perform well, don't we?
100%, absolutely.
Why do so many people want one then?
That is a good, absolutely good question. So it's a Fife home to a rich variety of semi-detached properties, you know, ranging from charming period homes packed with character to the sleek modern builds designed for today's lifestyle. This mix of old and new creates broad and appeal among buyers seeking both style and practicality, because you get the semi-detaches perhaps along like Leven Road, semi-detached period property, character stunning. But then obviously you can go into perhaps a new build development, say in Kirkcaldy, you've got Roslyn area and you get a semi-detached there. So you do get semi-detaches of all different styles. They do appeal to so many people for the style and the practicality of them, because since 2005, there have been 19,676 semi-detached homes sold in Fife alone. So 19,676 just in Fife alone since 2012, so in the last 20 years. That is actually 21.49% of all of the property sales within our area over the past 20 years. So that is 21% of homes that have been sold in Fife have been your semi-detached properties.
That's nearly a quarter. That's quite a big piece of the property market, isn't it?
Absolutely. When you think of all the different property types that there are out there, obviously within Fife, and especially if you think of your areas where you've got perhaps Leven or Glenrothes or Kirkcaldy or even St Andrews, where it's a lot of apartments as well. But 21%, as you say, nearly a quarter to be of that, it's a good proportion, because actually the demand for semi-detached homes continues to grow. They are proving themselves to not only be practical choice, but also wise long-term investment. Like you said, if it's something you actually move into, and because you have semi-detached and you've got that space, you could actually stay there. You could obviously extend and create additional space if required. It's perhaps as well something that you could actually go into in terms of future planning, if you could create one level living on the ground floor. So actually it could be a long-term investment for you. What's great though, and something that we like to say to our clients, yes, you can obviously listen to this blog and you can click the link to read over it, but we do our market updates in our blogs every single week. So every Tuesday we do obviously a market update that gives you a great insight. Obviously, Perrie, you do your price indexing shows. We do midweek shows, so we do a lot in terms of the market and really give you the facts and the figures to really get a true understanding of the Fife market. But if there is anything that you maybe have questions about or you are curious about, then feel free. You can either put something in the comments and we will come back to you. You can even message us privately, or you can pick up the phone and speak with us. But yes, would you say you have any final thoughts, Perrie?
Yeah, I think for me, certainly for buyers and first-time buyers out there, if that is the type of property that you're interested in, then as Sophie said, please do reach out to us. If you've got any questions, some guidance, some understanding about how you could perhaps approach potentially your first purchase. And again, if you're downsizing as well, how do you approach that downsizing, and does the semi-detached work for you? You know, I was at a client today and they've got a beautiful home. They're looking to downsize, but they've got 3 living spaces. They've got 4 bedrooms. They've got 3 bathrooms, and they're thinking that this is just overwhelming. It's a big headache for them. They know they need to downsize, but it's like, we've just accumulated so much stuff. And I love the house that I'm in, but it's not my dream home, and it's not where I want to end up. And actually, we want to have some more free time, so I don't want to be tending to this house. And there's a financial benefit as well, of course, from doing it. So definitely, if you have any questions, we've certainly got, hopefully, the answers. And if we don't, we can find a specialist that does. So yeah, feel free to reach out. We're more than happy to help. And until next time, that's it from us. We'll see you in the next show. Take care.
Take care. Bye for now.